Hello everyone, welcome to the Horror Atlas. Today I'm going to tell you a Argentinian horror story, The Night Visitor of Patagonia. In the deep, windswept plains of Patagonia, there's a small rural town called Piedra Seca, a place so quiet that even the wind seems careful not to disturb it. But every winter, when the nights stretch long and the cold settles into the bones of the earth, the people of Piedra Seca remember a name they refuse to speak aloud after sunset: La Sombra del Viento, the shadow of the wind. They say it's not a ghost, not a demon, just a presence, something older than the land itself, something that watches. And for one traveler, it didn't just watch. In 1998, a young geology student named Camila Vargas came to Patagonia to study rock formations for her thesis. She rented a room at an old estancia on the edge of town. The owner, Señora Maldonado, was kind, old, tired, and deeply superstitious. When Camila arrived, the Señora said only one thing that sounded like a warning: if the wind knocks at your window, don't answer it. Camila thought it was just local superstition until the first night. Patagonian nights are quiet in a way that city people don't understand. No cars, no voices, just the wind crawling across the land like something alive. Around midnight, Camila sat at her desk, writing notes, when the room temperature suddenly dropped. The lantern flame thinned, then bent, as if pulled by invisible fingers. Then, tap, tap, tap. Someone knocked on her window. At first she thought it was a branch, but there were no trees near the house. Then she remembered the Señora's words and stayed still, breath held. A voice whispered through the glass, soft, delicate, almost like her own voice echoed back at her. "Camila, let me in. It's cold out here." Her heart raced. No one in the town knew her name yet. Another knock, slower this time, like the person was dragging their knuckles along the window pane. "Let me in. I've come a long way." Camila backed away from the window, grabbed her blanket, and hid behind the desk until sunrise. When she finally looked, there were finger streaks on the outside of the glass, long, thin, and ending in sharp points. She told Señora Maldonado what happened. The old woman crossed herself, tightened her shawl, and said, "The shadow wants a voice, a name, a warmth to steal. If it speaks like you, it's already close." Camila didn't sleep that day. She considered leaving, but a storm rolled in, trapping her. By nightfall, the wind had turned violent, like it was searching for her. At midnight, the lantern flickered out, total darkness. Then she heard it again, tap, tap, tap. But this time, the knocking wasn't at the window. It came from the wall behind her. "Camila." The voice slithered through the cracks like cold smoke. "Don't be afraid, I'm right here." She pressed her hands to her ears, but the voice seeped straight into her mind. It wasn't outside anymore, it was inside the house. By the third night, Camila was exhausted, shaken. She packed her bags and told the Señora she'd leave at dawn, but the old woman only stared at the horizon and whispered, "It already knows you're leaving. Tonight will be the worst." Camila locked her door, shoved a chair under the handle, and sat awake, waiting. At 1:13 a.m., the entire house sighed like a living thing taking a breath. The wind stopped, total silence. Then, a long, slow knock at her door, not from a fist, but something dragging. Tap. "Camila." The voice was no longer soft. It was flattened, stretched, like it was mimicking her speech without understanding it. "Let me try your voice again." It whispered her own name back to her with perfect clarity, her exact tone, her exact breath pattern. "Camila, open the door." The The doorknob rattled, the wood bowed inward as though something enormous leaned on it. Then, from the keyhole, a breath, warm, slow, and a whisper. "If you leave tomorrow, I'll follow." At first light, Camila ran. She didn't stop to say goodbye. She didn't look back at the house, and the Señora didn't try to stop her. When she reached the bus stop, an elderly man saw her shaking and pale. "You saw it," he said quietly. "Most people don't survive 3 nights. Why didn't anyone warn me?" she asked. He looked at the horizon, where the wind was rising again. "We did. We told you not to answer the wind. Around here, it's the only thing that knocks." Camila never returned to Patagonia, but every winter, when the nights grow long, she swears she hears a voice outside her apartment window in Buenos Aires. A soft tapping, a familiar whisper. "Camila, I found you." Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more fun adventures.